class are, first we'll understand what are the different steps involved in programming in C, and we'll do some example programs on math operations. So first we'll understand what are the different phases that a C program undergoes to give us the result or output. In this process, the first step is to write the program. As we did in the last class, write the program with proper syntax and compile it to convert it to the machine code, because we are writing English-like sentences in C program, right? To make the computer to understand the program, we must have to compile it so it will convert into machine code. So we use compiler to do that. After compilation, the compiler will tell you if there are any errors in the program or not. If there are, you should correct them to get the right output. After compilation, the compiler link our program to the C library functions which are necessary for execution. We used #include statements and some other function calls like CLR, SCR, printf and getch. So in order to execute all these statements, the program must be linked to the header files specified in the #include statements. And then execution starts and you will get the desired output. So once you run a program, these are the different phases that the program undergoes. So now let's go and try some programs for doing mathematical operations. So first I'm going to take a new page and I will save it, because you should save every file, each and every file, before you're going to write the actual program. That's a best practice for you guys. So first save it. I will save this program with the name called math operations, and it is the best practice to give the file name which suits your program, and don't forget to add the .c extension at the end. So so press F5 button from your keyboard to make the screen bigger. So as always, I start the program with the comment telling what the program is going to do. The program to perform math operations. Okay, this is the comment. Remember, the comment always starts with the / and asterisk and ends with the same asterisk and /. So this is the format of the comment. You can place the comment at the top of program, after any statement of the program, or at the end of the program as well. So this is just to inform the user or inform the other programmer who looks into your program what the code is, or what the program is going to do, or any particular description about your code. Okay, so I'll start the program with the #include statements. #include. So these are the two header files that are very much necessary. They must be in the program in order to get the right output. So start your program actual code by this statement. This is where the actual execution starts. Void main of, right, and open and close the curly brackets and place the actual code between these two curly braces. So this is where our actual code resides, right? So now I'm going to perform mathematical operations, basic mathematical operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So to do that, to perform that, I need two integer numbers. So I add up them together and I subtract a number from another number, and I'll multiply both the numbers and I divide. I'm going to divide one number by another number. So I have to have two numbers. So where I'm going to store them? To store the numbers or any data in your program, we must need a variable, right? Here to store two numbers, I need two variables. So I will call them as A and B. So A and B are the two variables which are going to hold two integer numbers in it, right? So what is the type of the data you're going to store in A and B? I want the integer, right? Integer number, that is -1 to 3 up to n, +1 to 3 up to n. So these are the integer numbers. So before storing any data in variables, we must specify the type of data that is going to be in the variables. So for this context, for this instance, I will specify the type of data that is integer by the word int before the variables. So this is the format of declaring the variables. This statements declares two variables, that is a and b, of type int. So by placing the keyword int before the variables, specify or tell the compiler the type of the variable. So here a and b are type of int. Okay, so this statement declared two variables called a and b. So how I am going to store the data? I can directly initialize the variable in this statement using the assignment operator. So now I put equal sign and 5 after a. This means 5 is going to be stored in a, or a contains 5. So this is how we initialize a variable. Initialization of variable means putting some value into the variable. Now a has got initialized and b not yet. So now I'm going to store let's say 10. So b has 10 in it, right? And end the declaration statement with the semicolon. Okay, so a has got 5 and b has got 10 in it. Now I need to add them together, right? So this will add up a and b, right? This statement a plus b will add a and b together, and where is my result is going to be? So I need another variable, right? So I will call that variable as sum. So this is an expression now. Whenever you come across a equal sign with some operator and a semicolon, you can recognize it as an expression. So here a variable sum. So this is a variable sum. I've named the variable with a meaningful text. Okay, so this is how you can name the variable. Instead of just a or b, you can give meaningful names to the variables. So sum is a variable that is going to have the summation of a and b. The variable sum has to be declared before we are going to use it, right? So this is what has to happen, right? So sum, I've declared the variables and I used in the later statement. So remember, whenever you want to use a variable, just declare them first and then go and use them. So otherwise the compiler will throw you an error. And now go and print the sum. So the format, remember the format. So this is the format of printf function. So I want to print the content of the variable sum, right? So let's go and put the word sum, the variable sum inside here, right? So to run the program, just hit Ctrl F9 from the keyboard. So sorry, I forgot to add this function. So without this function, you won't see console window, the output screen. So let me add a function call here, clr scr. So if you remember this function, we use this for clearing the screen after every execution, so that we'll get a fresh window for our output. Okay, let's go on and run this program again. Ctrl F9. So just we have got the word sum. Why? Because I have placed the word sum inside the printf function. So printf function will print whatever it has, right? So I've just put the word sum inside the printf function, so I got the same word out. Why this happened? I wanted the addition, right? I wanted the content of some variable, right? But I got only the word sum here. That happened because the word sum inside the printf function is not same as the variable sum here. These two variables are different. The word sum is different and the variable sum is different here, because printf function treats this sum as a string, as a text, not as the variable. So how to make the printf function to recognize this variable, I mean the sum variable? To do that, we need to put the variable outside the double quotation but inside the printf function, that is like this. So when you put the variable name outside the double quotation mark after the comma, the printf function treats them as variables. So now so this is not enough. I have to put some more. That is this character. The %d is a special character. It's a special combination of character which is going to be converted itself into the integer. So here in this place, at the place of %d, our sum, the content of sum is going to be placed, and we will get the result. Let's run this program again. See, we have got the number 15. That happened because the character %d character has been replaced by the content of the variable sum. Whatever you put after this comma is treated to be as the variable. So, okay. So if I have, if I want to put the content of A and B also, so I have to specify A and B here, right? So there are 3 variables and I should have 3 %ds. So remember, the character %d is representation of integer variable. So the number of %ds must match up with the number of variables. Here 3 %ds, so 3 variables should be here. So let us run this program, Control F9. So 5, 10 and 15, because I am printing the variables in this order. First A, then B, then the variable sum. Okay, now let's come and add a meaningful sentence here. The sum of A, or not A, the sum of %d and %d is equal to %d. So this statement, in this statement we have 3 %ds, right? 1 %d is here, another one is here, another one is here. So this is going to be the same order of this one. So let's run this program and check how it's going to be printed out. So look at the sentence. The sum of 5 and 10 is 15, which is giving a meaning here. So I can also print the same sentence like this also, right? The sum is equal to %d, comma sum. Here there is just 1 %d, so I have got just one variable. So this, remember, the number of %ds must be equal to the number of variables after the comma. Control F9. The sum is equal to 15. So the sum of %d and %d. So these 2 %ds are going to be replaced by A and B. And the last %d with the variable sum. So the order must be followed here. Okay, so remember, look, have a close look at the order. So now we have got the addition of 2 numbers. Let us go and add another expression for subtraction. For I am using the variable difference, diff, just diff. So which is bigger here? B is bigger, right? B minus A, right? So here I am using the variable, a new variable diff, okay, which is going to store the difference of B and A. But I have not declared the variable diff. If you use a variable without declaring it, you will get an error, definitely will get an error. Let us check out what is that error. So this program is definitely going to give me an error. So let us check what is that error. So here, so can you see the number? Errors 1. So let us press any key to see what is that error. So in the line number 14 we have a symbol which is undefined symbol diff. That means we have not defined that symbol. Just go and declare that variable here in this place, diff. Okay, no matter where you put the diff, okay, so there is not any particular order for the variables. This will also work very finely. Okay, so let us print the content of diff as well. Printf the difference of %d and %d is equal to %d. So I will use B, A, diff. Right? I want B to be placed here and A to be placed here and diff at the last %d. Right? So let's run this program, Control F9. So can you see the statements? The sum of 5 and 10 is 15. The difference of 10 and 5 is equal to 5. So we are getting both the print statements in the same line, right? So for that, to avoid that, I'm going to add this add a special character called /n, right? So this /n will print whatever comes after this /n in the next new statement, in the next new line. Control F9. So the second statement is got into the next new line because of that /n. The sum of 5 and 10 is 15. The difference of 10 and 5 is equal to 5. That is what we have here, right? So let me add one more /n to have one more line break. So can you see one more line break after the first statement? So that is what /n does every time when you add it. So now go and perform other two operations as well, that is multiplication and division. So for that, I'm going to declare two more variables, product and quotient. So product is the result of multiplication and quotient is the result of division. So to have them, I've declared these two variables. So product is equal to, so wait, so which operator should I use here for multiplication? So the asterisk operator is used for multiplication. Let's go and add it. A star B or A asterisk B gives you the product of A and B. So for quotient, so make sure that you are writing the right variable without any spelling error, same as here, okay? So don't change the letters in the variables, otherwise you will get it as undefined symbol. So this forward slash is used for division operation. Alright, so remember there is one more slash which is backward slash, which is used in along with this n character /n. If we use this /n, we'll get a line break in printf statements. Commonly we use it for escape sequences, and this forward slash will act as a division operator. Okay, so wait, B has a bigger number and A has a smaller number, right? So I should have to divide B by 10, right? So because we always divide a bigger number with a smaller number, so the dividend is going to be at the first, then the forward slash and the divisor. So dividend first and then the divisor comes, right? So this will return the quotient after A divides B, or we'll get the quotient after B is divided by A, right? So let's go and add the two statements for them also. So I'll just copy this statement and paste it in the next line. So edit, copy. So to paste, remember the shortcut key Shift plus insert, Shift insert. Shift insert. So right, just I'm replacing the words. The quotient. The quotient of %d and %d is equal to b. A and are fine. Just replace the diff keyword with quotient keyword. And here the product. Right. Product, and don't forget to add the /n at the end of every printf statement here before the closing of quotation mark. So control F9. So the sum of 5 and 10 is 15. The difference of 10 and 5 is 5. The quotient of 10 and 5 is 2 because 5 goes into 10 two times. The product of 10 and 5 is 50. 10 into 5 is 50. So that's we have got. Let us add one more page, one more /n character to get one more line break after every statement. Control F9. So this is what we have got, right? So there is one more part in the division which is called as remainder. Sometimes we get 0 as remainder and sometimes some number as remainder. So how to get the remainder of A and B? So I'm declaring this variable rem, which stands for remainder, to hold the remainder part of the division after division, right? So rem is equal to, well, this will work? No. The forward slash is used for getting the quotient after division. So to get the remainder, which operator is used? This modulus operator, which is normally called as percentage. This operator, this modulus operator is used for getting the remainder after division. So this operator will also do the division. Okay, it will perform the division and returns the remainder after division. So let us go and put that statement as well. So the remainder, right? So the remainder of B and A is rem /n/ control F9. So that is what we have got here. The remainder of 10 and 5 is 0 because when 5 divides 10, we'll get the 0 as remainder. So well friends, I hope you understand this program. If you are getting any doubt,